Hey there guys, Joe the Auto Guy here today reviewing the Milwaukee M18 Fuel High Torque 2767 Generation 2 High Torque Impact. This thing boasts a nut busting torque of 1,400 pounds, 1,000 foot-pounds of fastening torque, a couple different power settings, and a safety removal mode. It also features RedLink, which intelligently can see if it's overloading, overheating or anything, and it saves the tool, battery, whatever it needs, lets it cool down, and continues to work. Not that that's really a problem, but it has that technology. This is the 1/2-inch anvil with a friction ring, which as an automotive user, as an automotive technician, you're going to want the friction ring. Replacing sockets all day, doing brake jobs, anything, you just want that quick action. This is the fuel brushless design, and again with 1,400 foot-pounds, there's a lot this thing can do. This is pretty much a replacement for an air impact. I've had a solid use for it with a couple months. You can see it's dirty, used. I used it as much as I could. I wouldn't be doing this review without doing extensive testing to make sure it's good for me to give it a good review for you guys. So some of its best features I can show you just on removing a wheel. And we're gonna go right there. Granted, this is not needing 1,400 pounds of reverse torque, but I'm gonna go through the features of it right now. So again, here is the impact. You have setting 1, which does a setting 1, which will fasten torque to 100 foot-pounds. Setting 2, which gives you over 700 foot-pounds. Setting 3 for full power of reverse or forward, 1,000 pounds fastening, 1,400 pounds reverse. And as a mode 4, which is actually a safety removal. It'll impact full force, and then once it senses that it has broken free, it's going to slow the RPM down so it doesn't throw a socket or do anything. So this allows you to actually use this on smaller fasteners and keep it going. Obviously we don't need a ton of force to remove this hubcap, but I'm going to show you that safety removal right now. Okay, so we're going to go to mode 4. So we're just going to, it just slows down the RPM. Okay, this exposes our lug nuts, and I'm going to do a full power run at mode 3, just to show you that this thing can just rip them off. No problem, takes the lug nuts off. I mean, this thing ain't struggling. You can have this with you, no air hose. Just nice mobile tech usage. These are all torqued to 140 foot-pounds, you know, but they've been on there a while. Rust, corrosion, anything takes that wheel right off. We're going to get this wheel out of the way and show you more stuff that this thing can do. Here, expose the axle nut socket. This is a 36 mil socket. These also known to be very tight. 177 foot-pounds of torque procedure, but you got a lot of power behind that. No problem. And I can tell you that did it extremely fast compared to even my air one taking these off. So you can see here it took it off no problem. We're going to put that back on, re-torque it. We're just going to put it on setting 1 to show you. Just really, you know, 100 foot-pounds lets that thing just not go over that. So you can see it struggles to put that on, but it's keeping it at the 100 foot-pound. We can go to setting 2, which gives you more power. You know, bringing it on, no problem. Setting 3, full power. Just brought that all the way down, no problem. Number 1, to torque that with a regular torque wrench to make sure she's good. But, I mean, that shows you the power level ratings. Now, got that safety removal. See? Did that full power until it sensed it was removed. And then it slowed down the RPM. All on its own. We're just going to button that back on. Power level 3. Don't have it in reverse when you do that. And normally, for you people on the video, you're supposed to use a new axle nut when you replace these. I'm actually going to be doing wheel bearings to this tonight. So, no big deal there. But now, the tool really just gets into everywhere that you need it to. It's not overly huge. It's 7.4 pounds. So, it's okay to hold, it's a little bit of weight, but it can do the job. It doesn't really fatigue you too much. It's a straight design, so the handle's not curved back and the tool pivoted up, which overall takes up more space. I like the straight design of it. Some people, they have their opinions on it, but I really like having the straight design. Usually you're using a deep well impact or a deep well socket, so you're not gonna touch your wheel or something anyways. But when you're getting into these tight spaces over here, you don't want this thing pivoted back and touching against something else. Okay, and you can see that the impact can still get in these tight spots, even up in here, against this upper control arm and everything. So you can still, we have a swivel socket on which reduces torque, but we can just, takes that right out of there. No big deal. Can slide that back in. Set it down to that low torque setting. And we don't over torque. You can still use the small fasteners. Okay, you can see we got all the lug nuts loose. Got that torque setting 1 to go to 100 foot-pounds. We're going to do that again. Okay, so now that is supposed to be the torque limiting feature to 100 foot-pounds. Now obviously the torque spec on this wheel is 140 foot-pounds. I just want to use my digital torque wrench and see where these are actually sitting. Here it is, that, limited torque. Okay, so we're using the digital torque wrench. We're going to set it to 140. We're going to see right now when it starts to move, my torque wrench will tell me where it was at. It was actually that one is at 112, 122, and this is digital, so it's plus minus a little bit when it's not at the torque I want. That one moved quite a bit actually. That one's at 97. Okay, so I mean the torque limiting thing, it does provide it does provide some safety against over torquing something. So you're always going to, if you're something to a specific torque, you're going to want to torque it with a torque wrench. So we're going to torque these all to 140. Okay, so this thing has its features. It is a 1/2 inch with the friction ring. Like I said, as an automotive technician, I'm really a big fan of the friction ring. You can get the pin detent, but I'm usually switching sockets so much that that's not really an ideal use for me. You can see my tool, I put it through a use. I wouldn't give it a good review, if it didn't perform. It's got the red lithium battery, gives you the charge indicator right on the battery for the M18 tools. This thing's power level with the brushless motor, it is full. Even when that bar is down to 1, I don't see any dissipation in the tool. It works until it stops. Again, sometimes when it dies, it actually surprises me because it was working 100%. All of a sudden I do a lug nut, Go to the next one. Oh, it's dead. You know, I got other batteries. You know, charge it up. The one thing with this one I like is the LED is on, you know, the battery holder is on the battery part of the tool. So it's not on the battery itself, but it's on that part. So it aims up at what you're looking at. Instead of right here, it kind of gives you a little broad spectrum. This thing will actually illuminate what you're about to put it on. Again, I like to say it's that straight design. It's not the angled up and having the battery flat. I prefer the straight action of that in performance of the tool. It allows me to have, you know, put it in a tighter spot. It does not weigh that much. It is a little bit bulkier. If you're looking for something smaller, you know, they have the mid torque. But even against the mid torque, it's not that much bigger. And against my MG725, the MG725 pretty much comes to the end of the anvil, so the only added space is the anvil itself. With that brushless motor, it goes a little more compact in size. You got that fuel power, 1,400 pounds of nut busting torque, 1,000 pounds of fastening torque. The 3 modes, which is easy, quick button to change out. Just literally flips right there. That safety remove torque so it doesn't whip bolts everywhere. This thing is great. One thing I want to say is the housing, super durable. I've, you know, dropped it a few times actually, never even affected the tool. I'm not trying to abuse it too much, but the inevitable thing happens when you're doing suspension work and it slips out of your hand. The grip is very good. It feels very good in the hand. When you're holding it, it's very balanced. You know, even going like this, I don't feel like it's putting super strain to go that way. It has a lot of power. If you're not holding it right, this thing can actually, you know, jerk your hand. So be mindful of the power. You are using a high torque tool. RPM, very good impact ratio. 1,800 RPM, 2,100 impacts per minute. It hits hard and keeps going. Love it. Rusty bolts, everything, not a problem for this thing. The only thing I've ever had it struggle up against is a large diameter, you know, thread pitch of a bolt with red Loctite on it. By struggle, it took it a little slower, but it took it out. My air impact would struggle to take that out if it would even break it loose. So this thing, 100% replacement for air. This one is on the cart. I do tire changes with it. I do suspension work. I do everything. And I compare it a lot to my Snap-on MG725, but I do have other air impacts. This is my AWP 50 from Mac. In size comparison, again, this one, I mean, it's not that much bigger. This has a big, bulky side-fed motor. This has power, but not as much as this one does. This is about, you know, 600 and something foot-pounds of reverse torque. So compare it side by side, back to back. You know, you're not losing that much. Yeah, you get a battery on it, but I don't have to drag a hose around to get it caught on tires with this thing. This doesn't take up a lot of space in the drawer, you know, and when you remove the battery, it's pretty nice and compact versus, you know, the air one. If you look at that, you're taking up almost the same amount of space with the air one. Okay guys, a lot of people ask me, you know, where you can get the tools. And a good way to actually find the tools is if you go right to Milwaukee's website. This is their mobile website. It's actually super quick. But you can go down here, you can hit shop online, find local. If you hit find local, it'll, you know, it'll find stores near you. But if you hit shop online, it just gives you a list of retailers. Home Depot, Tool Up, you know, Acme Tools, Tool Barn. Wholesale, it tells you if it's in stock. You can click on that link, it'll send you right to it. You can find pricing, you know, valuable pricing and availability right from Milwaukee's website. For the 2767-20, that is the bare tool. You get the -22, that is the kit with 2 batteries and a charger. Now again, the impact is warranted for 5 years, the battery's for 3 years, and the charger also for 5 years. It is a total replacement for your air impact and a must-have, especially if you have any other M18 tools. You know, you already got the extra batteries, you might as well get the impact. It's great. So, full stamp of approval, impact rate, ergonomics, torque output, weight, you know, 5.4 pounds without the battery. Battery adds a little more weight. You know, but again, not super fatiguing. Little bit of girth there, but still completely usable. Variable speed trigger, LED, multiple power modes. Everything about this tool is a win. I'm really happy with it. Please like the video if it helped you out, and subscribe if you're first time stopping by this channel for a lot more videos like this one. Thanks guys, have a great day. Now I'm gonna get back to work.